From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
Today's Supreme Court ruling leaves mixed emotions across the U.S. We show you a reaction from here to our nation's capital.
And we tell you how one of Arizona's 5 C's is dragging down our economy.
If you fly, they can't. Find out where these unmanned aircrafts are being banned, and it's all for your safety.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Crandall Brantley.
And I'm Eddie Keller. Thanks for joining us.
Our top story: in a 4-4 deadlock this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court was unable to reach a majority consensus on United States versus Texas. The ruling continues to block the expansion of President Obama's deferred action programs. Our news reporter Alexis Solari spoke with participants from the Arizona community members who were angered by the ruling.
Crandall, many Arizona community members in support of DACA Plus and DAPA are upset after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling this morning. Protesters of the ruling gathered earlier today to express their strong disapproval of the decision.
I say we are, you say power. We are power. We are power.
Arizona community members from all over the state, from organizations like Mi Familia Vota and Puente, gathering this morning to protest the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that in effect blocks President Obama's DAPA and DACA Plus programs that looks to help keep millions of undocumented immigrants from being deported.
We hope for a decision that would favor those families. However, this morning, we heard that the Supreme Court of the United States did not side with our families.
Demonstrators initially held signs outside the office of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Phoenix, but later took to the streets to protest the ruling, blocking off part of Central and Palm Lane. Police arrived on scene to manage the demonstrators as they blocked the street. When Arizona immigrant advocates heard of the Supreme Court ruling, they weren't ready to admit defeat.
I guess it's mixed emotions, angry, sad, but I mean, we just have to keep fighting.
It was a lot of frustrations among our community, especially because this has been a long fight.
Signs says advocates and families will fight back the best way they know how.
The next step for us is to make sure that we fight back through the most effective way, which is the power of our vote. So we are going to mobilize the Latino community to vote for elected officials that align with our values.
The power of voting may be the community's greatest tool, according to Signs. He says he and the Latina community are looking forward to the November 8th elections for change. In the broadcast center, Alexis Solari, Cronkite News.
In Washington, many also gathered outside of the Supreme Court to hear the decision. Cronkite News reporter Megan Finnerty was at the court and brings us their reactions.
With the end near for the Supreme Court's current term, crowds have been turning up regularly, waiting for decisions on key cases. But many left disappointed today. The mood outside the Supreme Court today was passionate but turned to pain as a decision in U.S. versus Texas brought many to tears.
You can see many people are so sad. For me, it really is very sad. It's hard to describe this moment. But the only thing that I can say is that we are going to keep fighting.
The decision came as a shock to some who said they now have to wait for justice in the lower courts.
We just heard the decision from the Supreme Court and we are truly disappointed. This comes at the cost of mostly women and families and children.
The White House proposed the expansion of DACA-DAPA in 2014. It would defer deportation for an estimated 5 million people in the United States and about 140,000 in Arizona. Because the Supreme Court could not reach a decision, a lower court decision blocking the program stands.
I mean, right now I can be deported at any time, and that's something that, many people don't really think about.
Many who were here today have been coming to the court for weeks in anticipation of a decision that left them disappointed when it finally came today.
This is a very, very sad decision. It's hard to believe the justices are not making justice. This is really unjust for our community.
The deportation case was not the only one out of Texas the court is considering. Other activists today were waiting to hear a ruling on Texas abortion clinic restrictions. About half of the protesters were here today for DACA and DAPA, while the others were railing on the abortion case. Despite the split decision, one Tucson native who was here said she hasn't lost hope.
I'm from Tucson, Arizona, and I just wanted to tell everybody that we're still going to be here. We're still going to be fighting. Nobody, just don't give up.
Many of these groups will be back at the Supreme Court Monday, when the justices are expected to hand down the last rulings of the term, including the Texas abortion case. Cronkite News will be there too. Live in Washington, I'm Megan Finnerty, Cronkite News.
Today's decision is a big blow to the Obama administration's immigration plans. The president announced back in 2014 that more than 4 million undocumented immigrants could apply for temporary work permits. Now the status of those 4 million people are in the air.
Today, the Supreme Court was unable to reach a decision. This is part of the consequence of the Republican failure so far to give a fair hearing to Mr. Merrick Garland, my nominee to the Supreme Court. It means that the expanded set of common sense deferred action policies, the ones that I announced 2 years ago, can't go forward at this stage until there is a 9th justice on the court to break the tie.
Texas led 26 Republican-dominated states challenging the president's DACA and DAPA programs.
Republicans are also reacting to the Supreme Court decision. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan praised the ruling at a news conference.
This is a win for the Constitution, it's a win for Congress, and it's a win in our fight to restore the separation of powers. Presidents don't write laws, Congress writes laws.
And our own Senator John McCain released this statement. Immigration is an issue that must be debated and decided by the representatives of the people, not by executive fiat. I hope that after today's ruling, Congress can get back to work advancing bipartisan solutions to fix our broken immigration system once and for all.
Law enforcement in Arizona and Mexico are joining efforts to stop cross-border crimes. Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich signed a letter of intent yesterday to partner with the Attorney General of Mexico, focusing on firearms, money laundering, human smuggling, and child pornography.
The latest report from the Bureau of Economic Analysis shows us that the United States economy grew steadily from 2014 to 2015, but Arizona's growth slowed significantly in that same year. Reporter Wafa Shahid spoke with experts about the health of Arizona's economy.
What we did notice for the state of Arizona is that the growth in Arizona actually decreased by half.
Arizona's gross domestic product, or GDP, is the total amount spent by businesses, consumers, and government on goods and services. While the U.S. economy grew by 2.4%, Arizona's growth rate grew by 0.9%, which is half of what it grew by last year. The Bureau of Economic Analysis pointed to the mining industry.
Copper prices actually decreased by about 15% over the last year, so mining was probably the largest drag on the economy.
Resolution Copper and Rosemont Copper are two projects experts say could jumpstart the Arizona economy.
These are mines that aren't going to open one day and be gone in a few years. They're there for a very long time, and they can really add to the economy.
But not anytime soon.
It takes about 7 to 10 years to get all the permits you need to start new mining operations. And that really is a lag on the economy.
It's not all bad news. Jobs were added last year. Arizona's GDP still grew to $294 billion.
There were positive signs in other industries. They just weren't able to make up for the losses that you were seeing.
Reporting in Washington, I'm Wafa Shahid, Cronkite News.
And even though the GDP fell by half, experts are optimistic that the mining industry and ultimately Arizona's economy as a whole should get better in the near future.
The fate of another officer involved in the Freddie Gray case comes to an end.
Coming up on Cronkite News, the judge determines whether or not the officer facing the most charges is guilty.
And a new ruling could mean big changes for suspected drunk drivers. We break down another big decision to come out of the Supreme Court today.
The true measure of all our actions is how long the good in them lasts.
This is who I am, where I'm from.
If you're on the right side of history, you can accomplish anything.
It's a connection between your present and your past.
Come this way. This is good. This is very good.
We are attempting to fulfill the promise of America.
The stories about who we are shape us.
This chance to go through a time machine.
Good heavenly days.
We should know our history.
It informs, but it doesn't constrict you.
It's a framework to carry out human activity.
Look around, grass is high.
The sky is the limit.
It started a long time ago.
For only the third time in the award's 74-year history, a Phoenix-based news operation wins the prestigious Alfred I. DuPont Columbia Award for Excellence in Broadcast Journalism. And this year, that news operation is Cronkite News, the news division of Arizona PBS, honored for its work on the groundbreaking documentary, Hooked, Tracking Heroin's Hold on Arizona. Cronkite News at Arizona PBS, award-winning journalism you can count on from the station you trust.
In what's sure to be a polarizing decision, a Baltimore judge ruled not guilty on all charges this morning for Caesar Goodson, the officer charged in the death of Freddie Gray. Officer Goodson faced 7 charges, including second-degree assault and involuntary manslaughter. Gray broke his neck and died last year after he was arrested and placed into a prisoner van that Goodson was driving. The decision has already sparked protests outside the courthouse, with people saying the justice system has failed the people of Baltimore by setting a dangerous precedent.
We look at spikes in crime and violence in Baltimore City. We're telling the folk that are involved in all sorts of illegal activity not to kill. But I think it sends a serious message in our city when police officers have a double standard when they are allowed to kill at will without any type of consequence whatsoever.
Officers had argued that Goodson was not directly at fault for Gray's death. In September, the city of Baltimore agreed to pay Gray's family almost $6.5 million in a settlement.
In Washington, Democrats decided to end their sit-in protest on the House floor over gun control. And we shall overcome someday. The Democrats' protest over the lack of action on gun control lasted for more than 24 hours. Georgia Representative John Lewis, who launched the sit-in Wednesday morning, said the fight was not over. He said lawmakers must come back to Washington on July 5th, when Congress is back in session, more determined than ever. Lawmakers said during the recess they will take the issue to their districts.
Another big decision to come out of the Supreme Court today. The High Court has placed limits on state laws to make it a crime for suspected drunk drivers to refuse alcohol tests. The court ruled today that police can conduct breathalyzer tests even without a warrant. Police cannot, however, conduct a blood alcohol test without a warrant. 3 cases from Minnesota and North Dakota had challenged so-called implied consent laws. All 50 states have laws that allow drivers to lose their license for refusing alcohol tests. But at least 11 states, however, impose extra criminal punishments for such refusals.
Hundreds of barrels of oil spilled along the pipeline of the Southern California coast early this morning. As you can see, almost 30,000 gallons were spilled along this pipeline in the Ventura Hills. The leak is far less than 200,000 gallons officials had expected to find. Hazmat crews say the oil spills will not expected to reach the local beach.
And Volkswagen has agreed to pay about $10 billion to settle claims from its emissions cheating scandal. The money would primarily compensate 48,000 owners of cars with 2-liter diesel engines that were programmed to cheat on emissions tests. Owners would be reimbursed anywhere from $1,000 to $7,000, depending on the age of the car.
In-flight threats led to a government escort in the sky.
And it all ended here in Arizona. Coming up on Cronkite News, we show you what it looked like inside this plane from a passenger's perspective, and we tell you what caused the diversion.
Plus, this desert city is about to get a lot cooler. Find out why sports fans are celebrating this big announcement.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere
This is the real thing. This is where we were born.
What started in the water, stranded on the sand.
One of the amazing things about the history of life on Earth is it keeps learning new tricks.
The animals, plants, really gets in your blood.
Everything's interconnected.
We've got to begin to tell a new story, a story about interaction.
It's something that really touches my heart. There's just massive life everywhere. It's just magic.
What do you want to be when you grow up or after you retire? Well, there's a test for that. Reporter Christina Tatro shows us the questionnaire designed by an ASU professor that helps you in every transitional stage of life.
Vocational interest tests that tell you what your likes and dislikes are have been around for decades, but one Arizona State University researcher has made a very specific test to not only help employers find good employees, but for you to get the most out of life.
Terrence Tracy has been studying and working in psychology for almost 40 years and has developed a way for people to be happier and more productive, not only in work, but in life. It's called PGI, Personal Globe Inventory. It's an online test.
Help people choose occupations, occupational directions, majors.
It's made up of about 230 questions that ask your likes and dislikes in different scenarios or situations. It then compares your interests with about 1,000 jobs that match your personality based upon 6 different characteristics.
A few things that we do that are less important than work. You spend more time in work than you do in anything else in your life.
The closer your likes and dislikes are to the characteristics of the job, the happier and more productive you will be. Tracy says that it's best to use for high school and college graduates, middle-aged working class, and also those about to retire, anyone in a transitional life position.
I don't want to just jump into college and take a bunch of classes and graduate and not know what I'm going to do next.
Making it easier so that life doesn't pass you by.
The test is being used across the world in countries such as Italy, Singapore, Japan, Germany, and Brazil. And Tracy says that though it works great here in the U.S., he's working on bringing the test to third world countries to help them build their infrastructure. You can find the test online at pgi.asu.edu. Christina Tatro, Cronkite News.
SRP is giving its customers some relief this summer. The power company's board approved a $27 million drop in electricity prices for July and August. It averages to a nearly 4% decrease for what could be this year's hottest month. The typical customer should save $15 total, but the savings are only temporary. In September, prices will go back up to the original summer pricing approved last year.
A solar-powered plane is now in Spain, crossing the Atlantic without any fuel or emissions. The Solar Impulse 2 landed in Seville today, ending an over 71-hour flight from New York City. Organizers say it marks the first time a solar-powered plane made such a journey. This was the 15th leg of a planned around-the-world flight beginning in March of 2015. You may remember back in May, the plane was in Arizona, stopping at Phoenix Goodyear Airport.
Meanwhile, an onboard disturbance leads to a military escort. Yesterday afternoon, the flight to Los Angeles from San Antonio was diverted to Tucson International Airport. This is amateur video from one passenger, Ryan Healy. About 80 people were on board when a passenger made a verbal threat to the flight crew. The Arizona Air National Guard says 2 F-16s escorted the plane to Tucson. The suspect was taken into FBI custody. A search of the plane found nothing dangerous. Other passengers were rescreened at the terminal and took off for Los Angeles around 8 p.m.
Navajo County wants to let you know that if you fly, they can't. The county is having issues when it comes to unmanned aircraft around the Cedar fire. Last night, air operations for the fire were grounded until the drones cleared the area. The aircraft are safety hazards for fire personnel and shut down fire suppression efforts. The Cedar Fire, now over 45,000 acres, is burning just 10 miles south of Show Low. Officials want to make it clear that there is a temporary flight restriction in place for that entire fire area, saying it is illegal to fly drones there anywhere and at any altitude. If you are flying your aircraft in the restriction zone, the drone will be seized and you will be booked in jail. As of now, the Cedar fire is just 24% contained.
A large donation will help construction costs at Granite Mountain Hotshots Memorial State Park. Arizona Public Service donated $229,000. It's being put toward plaques honoring the 19 firefighters along with other construction costs. The park will be the first in an Arizona state park system that has a memorial to people who died. The firefighters were killed while battling a wildfire in Yarnell back in June of 2013.
The desert could always use more ice.
And here in Arizona, you can expect to see a lot more coming up on Cronkite News.
Remember this? Start pulling out these throwback jerseys. We tell you why hockey fans across Arizona are celebrating.
It's summertime on PBS. What's coming up? You'll never guess. We'll meet some famous presidents and tour their famous residents. We're going to shake the family tree to search our genealogy. Detective teams are out in force. Inspector Lewis and Deborah Morse. We'll leap into the clear blue sky to see how nature's creatures fly. And fireworks? The answer's yes. It's summertime on PBS.
Introducing Classical Arizona PBS, your classical music connection. On TV, listen to Classical Arizona PBS on digital channel 8.4. On the go, download the free Classical Arizona PBS app to stream performances. Find out about classical concerts and watch exclusive videos. Download the free Classical Arizona PBS app, then follow Classical Arizona PBS on Facebook and Twitter for news, photos, and events near you. Classical Arizona PBS, your classical music connection. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule.
Hi, I'm Charlie Rose. As part of the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at ASU, Arizona PBS is providing a state-of-the-art venue for the next generation of journalists. From newsrooms in Washington, Los Angeles, and here in Phoenix, students engage in real-time, real-world news reporting, broadcast production, and online innovation. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS working together in new ways to bridge the classroom to the community in the digital age.
You're a dreamer, don't hide it from anyone, don't hide it from anyone. Hey, would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life, this is what counts, this is for us. I will go
On the eve of the NHL draft, the city of Tucson has reason to celebrate as its new American Hockey League team begins play this fall. The name of the new franchise was announced over the weekend. Cronkite News reporter Brian Carroll tells us the name should be familiar to longtime Phoenix residents.
Let me be the first to say, let's welcome the newest edition of the American Hockey League, the Tucson Roadrunners.
Hundreds of fans packed the Tucson Convention Center for the unveiling of the name of the Coyotes AHL affiliate moving to Tucson. The Roadrunner name is synonymous with hockey in Arizona. The World Hockey Association's Roadrunners played in Phoenix during the 1970s, and the IHL team under the same name played in the Valley from 1989 through 1996.
The history of the Roadrunners is the history of hockey in Arizona. It predates the Coyotes in town. So I think it's important as we grow the sport that we consistently look to the history, the great history, the storied history that this sport has here in the state as well here in Tucson.
Tucson has not had a minor league team in the city since the Tucson Padres left town in 2013. Getting a team back in Tucson is big for the city.
It really boosts the image of Tucson. You saw where Las Vegas this week just got an NHL team. They were the largest market in the United States without a major league franchise. Tucson was the largest market without a AAA franchise. Having that back is a big deal.
The Tucson Roadrunners will start play in October. In Tucson, I'm Brian Carroll, Cronkite News.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon and PBS NewsHour.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we'll hear about a new way of measuring the state's progress in helping job creation. And we'll learn about research designed to make solar panels cheaper and more accessible. That's the next Arizona Horizon.
I'm Judy Woodruff on the next NewsHour, making sense of how the high price of housing is changing San Francisco. That's Thursday on the PBS NewsHour.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.